And we are live.
Fuck it. Just,
Coming to you live from the great state of
there we
Wisconsin
go. Fuck it.
is the Overdue Sports Team. I'm your host, Will Massa. To my right is Jake Sawinski, as always, back in the booth. Apologies for the intro. This is that was take number 4 of the 20-second intro. We didn't even get 15 seconds into this thing, but we're back. We sort of figured it out. How are we doing?
That was like the first time we've goofed ever on that, and we goofed like 4 times, so that was kind of funny. if you see a smirk on our faces, that's why. I'm doing okay. I'm recovered from the weekend festivities, but work is not fun. But we're doing good. We're doing good.
Big thing on the list. I don't know. Well, I guess we can jump into what we've got tonight. I'm sweating out some college baseball action. East Carolina, sold out crowd in the jungle. Greensville, North Carolina against NC State, and I've got the Cardinals and Diamondbacks over 8.5. They went over last night, but that game was cheesed like that. It was so stupid. I was on the D-backs last night, so I'm still kind of salty about it, but I think they're going to go over tonight. So
Yeah, I like that over too. I was on the
yeah.
Cardinals yesterday. Haha.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
kidding.
So was Stooley's picks. As very
Yeah.
frustrating because Brandon Pfaadt actually threw pretty well until the 2 he gave up in the 5th, and then the bullpen was just like non-existent. It was awful.
Yeah, well, I was gonna like you rage texted me yesterday, and I was gonna be like, well, I mean, it didn't start out with the bullpens, it wasn't their fault at first, but I was like, I just let it go. I won't say anything. But
Yeah.
oh, that's not a great freeze frame right there. Yeah, that I got a little lucky there. But tonight I'm on the Panthers -1.5. I released that play on the Overdue Sports Twitter account. I'm scared. I hope it hits. They're probably already losing, but that's okay. I knew what I was doing. I'm on the A's and Yankees over 8.5. I took it live. I missed it by like 2 minutes, and I think we're gonna be all right. I'm on the Reds money line, and I've got the Giants. Nope, I'm sorry, the Mets later tonight. So, yeah, kind of just trying to take it a little slow to start the week because it's been pretty good, and I don't want to make a mess.
You had a good day yesterday. You've been I don't know how you went on the first couple of days of the NHL playoffs, but you had a good day yesterday.
Yeah, and I got lucky as shit, which is why I'm like, okay, take it easy, because that Maple Leafs Bruins under. If you had the over, I'm really sorry. Like 2 goals were disallowed. Empty net goal at the end, missed by like 6 inches. Hit the side of the net. Yeah, you have a right to be angry at me. I'm really sorry, but I win, you lose. Yeah. What else I get really lucky in? Oh, the Pirates didn't pirate, so I had them -1.5 yesterday. I had the Cardinals. We kind of talked about that already. And then I'm not going to say I got terribly lucky with that Islanders over, but I was about that close to betting the Islanders, and I'm so glad I didn't. That would have sucked.
That meltdown was
Yeah,
horrific.
that was really bad. Like, I bet that against them, or I bet on them against like the Rangers in that outdoor game they had at MetLife like 2 months ago, and I'm still pissed about that. I don't think I bet on the
The
Islanders since.
the,
Like, I'm
the Panarin goal with no net locked down. It was the net was moving
yeah,
on that one on the
yeah.
game.
I think I bet on like the next game, and then I got it back, and I'm like, I'm done with this team. I'm not betting them anymore. But playoffs are off to an okay start. I mean, I was pretty distracted. I was in a wedding this weekend, so like I was pretty busy. I bet as much as I could, and that went well for like what I was able to do. But I took it pretty easy in hockey so far. Like I bet that over game 1 it missed, so I ran it back. I bet what did I do? I did the under in the Canucks Preds game. That was stupid. And then I bet the over in the Avs Jets game 1. That was a winner 8 minutes into the game. So that was easy.
Yeah, we were just talking about that game. That game was
Insane.
shocking. And not so much because of Gorgiev allowing 7, but because Hellebuyck allowed 6. and we were talking like it seems like the Avs. I was talking to my dad about this the other day too, and I feel like the Avs haven't had a really good goalie since like Patrick Waugh, and they've been good in that stretch. Like
They've
they
been good for a long
with
time.
Kemper, yeah,
Yeah,
they've been good for
like
a really long time.
7 years now. Yeah.
But the
Uh,
netminders haven't been like outstanding. That hasn't been the reason why they've won.
no, I mean they're loaded at every position. I mean you have the forward who's probably gonna win the Hart this year, in Nate McKinnon. That line's insane, and Landeskog hasn't played since like the Cup run. I don't even know if he played in the Cup run. I can't tell you that for a fact or not. I think he was banged up for a little bit of it. Then he had to sit out, and they won. I could be wrong though. I mean, you got the best defenseman in the league. You've got role guys like Devon, not really role guys, like elevated, like guys that you're not even expecting to be that good, like Valeri Nichushkin, or like I think they're getting a lot more out of Devon Taves and like they'd expect to. Like he's awesome. You know what I mean? It's just like they're loaded. And yeah, the one glaring spot has been Georgiev. Like we were talking about a little bit before. I think he's the worst goalie in the playoff field right now. Like I don't think
He's
anyone's
close
got a
to, if
worse
not the.
goalie. Yeah, and like you can look at his numbers too, and I think that those are a little deceiving, right? Like I think he's got like a respectable save percentage. I think he's up there in shutouts and wins, and it's like, well, wins are a little different because, like, I mean, if you're not splitting the net a ton, if you're on a good team, you're gonna have a lot of wins. But yeah, like it's weird because like they win despite him, not because of him. You know what I mean? Like I feel
Yeah,
like he'll come up big every couple of games, but most of the time it seems like, I mean, statistics might tell you a different story, but like you just watching, it seems like he's good for like allowing three goals a game. And then it's like you look at on the East, it's like, did you see? Was it Swayman last night?
yeah, it should have been.
Oh my God, he was awesome. They lost, but like he was incredible. He was incredible.
Dude,
And
even Demko in game one against the Preds, like 2 minutes into the game, he stood on his head like
mhm.
immediately, and he still allowed I think two in that. No, he allowed two in that
Yeah, it was
game.
4-2. I mean, he's an
Yeah, it was
all-world
4-2.
goalie. That
He
he's
is
like he's the
nuts.
next up and comer. Like he's gonna win 2, 3
He's
Vezinas. That guy is
crazy.
awesome. But yeah. I mean, I hope the voters like watch that Jets game because that would help me out. Bob's look pretty good. And they're not supposed to, but I mean, I hope they do because Hellebuck got pumped. That was the surprising part. Like he's been
Yeah,
super, like even keeled all season. Like it seems like every night he's out there. It's like if he's bad, he gives up three, and that's it. You know what I mean? And that was like the biggest surprise, but like you also can't really fault him. Like the Avs were losing like the entire game, and it was go 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 for them the entire game. And Winnipeg took some penalties too. Like I feel like Pierre-Luc Dubois lived in the box. Could be wrong. Maybe he only took one penalty, but I don't know. It's
it's
like
also
they
just a
were
team you don't want to be in the box against.
no, exactly. And it's same thing with the Oilers. It's like, why are you guys taking penalties? Like, I don't even think Pierre-Luc Dubois is on the Jets anymore. I think he's on the Kings. I think that's who I was talking about. I saw yesterday. It's like, don't take penalties in the playoffs. Can't afford to do it. And it's like they have a tighter whistle too. Like they're not
Yeah,
calling
they do.
everything. It's like don't got to stay out of the box. Um, yeah, it might have been the most hockey talk we've ever done. That was cool.
I was very stoked that the Rangers pulled the Caps in the first round. Mostly because the Flyers have that rivalry spirit to it, so that series is always interesting. And honestly, I was more afraid of facing the Red Wings in that series than I would have been the Caps. Like I'm not impressed with the Caps at all. And we did a great job in game one. Obviously, the Rangers are a far better team than on the President's Cup, but Ovechkin had 0 shots on goal. Like that's a pretty good scheme to shut him out on
Yeah,
shots on goal.
yeah. I mean, he looked pretty frustrated all game.
Yeah. So, and Matt Rempe punched one in. As much as I love to watch that guy throw the hands,
Yeah,
he
he's fun.
punched a goal in, which is about time. the Rangers haven't had somebody like that, like a goon, in so long. They
Like
just
you
had
had. Oh, go
we had
ahead. Sorry.
like McDonough from time to time would throw down,
Hmm.
and they just haven't had a guy like that.
Yeah,
And
like Revo was there for a cup of coffee, but that was it.
yeah,
And like he
yeah,
gives you no offensive upside.
no,
Yeah,
nothing.
0.
But when you have Jacob Trouba and Adam Fox is a really good scoring defender, and even Keandre Miller can punch it in a good amount of the time, like you don't need more guys like that. Like you need somebody that can lock down on defense.
Hmm.
And
I
I
mean,
like
that's
Rempe.
the
He's a good spark.
yeah. That was the case in point problem with the Penguins the last 2 years. Like Sidney Crosby, your all-world Hall of Fame first ballot captain, is out there fighting because you have no grit on your team. Like you can't. He can't be doing that. Like
No.
it's a good leader that he wants to and realizes that it needs to happen because you need that. You need to play with that edge in hockey, but like it cannot be coming from him. And I think they addressed it a little bit this year. Like they were much better, like physically. And like I mean, last year their season was over by February. At least they were in it until the end. It seemed
Yeah.
like. Well, no, that's not true because like they lost to the Blackhawks and then that ended their season. So that's not true. But the point remains. Like I feel like they played a much different style. They had that edge to them, is what I'm trying to
Yeah.
say.
Also, one thing I forgot to mention on the Avs game, there was over 100 hits combined in that game. It was like the All-Star game, but introducing checking into it. It was nuts. I've never watched a playoff hockey game like that before, ever.
And then have all the goals in it too.
And then have 13 goals and over 100 hits.
Yeah, that's a goalie problem. It's a goalie and defenseman problem. Yep. But yeah, that the goalies were atrocious there, and for the most part, I feel like everywhere else they were much better. Ottinger was pretty poor yesterday, but it was
He
for a
seems like hot
period.
and cold. Yeah,
He is extremely
he
hot
can
and
be.
cold.
That's how I feel about Saros too. Like I was on the Preds game one and gave up 3 in the third. It's not the first time he's done that. Like that's a team that I struggle backing a lot. It feels like every time I do, something like that happens, and Saros just doesn't play that well whenever I back them.
Yeah,
I can't get a read on him. He can be incredible, but
but
it's
I
not every
mean,
day.
they play a lot like the Islanders. You know what I mean? Like we were talking a little bit about it pre-show, but they're like a team that they have that like, oh, they're gonna be kind of yucky stigma to them, even though they have Philip Forsberg and Roman Josi, very capable scoring players, and just to name a couple of them. But you know, the third period rolls around and you have a 1 or 2 goal lead, or you're tied. You're just playing it safe. That's what they do. I mean, that's exactly why the Islanders blew a 3-goal lead yesterday. That's all they were doing. It's just like, oh, turnover in the defensive zone. We get the puck, skate to the blue line, dump it in, or the red line, dump it in. That's all they do. And you can't play that way 100% anymore unless you're up 4 goals. You know what I mean? It's like, but still, then it might get interesting with the way guys score now. And I mean, it's like a lot of these goalies flail around, and they're athletes though. It's like it's not like back in the day where, you know, there was just a wall back there. They stood and hoped the puck hit them. Like the way guys shoot and the way goalies can move, they can make those highlight reel saves. But like if they're out of position, like it's going in the back of the net. Like it's gonna happen.
Yeah. Speaking of the Isles, that's a team I don't want the Rangers to face.
Don't worry, you won't.
I know, which makes me happy. They had the Rangers number all year. Like even the game that they lost, the outdoor game, shouldn't have lost that. They were up considerably.
4-1.
Dominated. Yeah, they dominated 50 minutes of that game. That's just a team that like is not somebody that is good for us to face. It was the same thing with the Devils last year. Like we drew the Devils in the first round, and you go, oh shit. It's so hopefully Carolina can seal
Carolina
the deal there,
is really good. They are really
and Carolina
good.
usually gives the Rangers fits anyways. So
they give everybody fits because they're like that hybrid team where like what the Rangers need, because like last year especially the Rangers had that like offensive prowess, like they could go score. I mean, given Chris Kreider's not going to score, what did he score 50 goals last year?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I mean, he was a power play merchant. Let's be honest, great player, team captain, but like you know what I mean. Like, come on, like
Truba's got the C now. It should be Kreider, but Truba's got it.
oh, that's right, that's right.
Yeah,
Okay, but you get what I'm saying. Like,
yeah,
I mean, you know what I mean. Like a little bit of a 5-on-5 play lacking there, but like
yeah.
the Hurricanes have that. Like they play physical, and they roll 4 lines deep, and those lines contribute. I mean, I think last year their problem was they just couldn't score against the Panthers. Like
Mhm.
Bobrovsky was
Well, he
unbelievable.
was the whole
He
playoff
still
run. He
is.
was
He's been
stupid. Yeah,
unbelievable since the start of the playoffs.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like most of the games he lost, they weren't the same thing as Hellebuck. Like everyone seems to think, oh, Hellebuck's got this thing locked up, and he might. I mean, all the advanced metrics favor Hellebuck, but it's Bobrovsky was really damn good too. Like I mean, to
Hmm.
me, it's Demko, him, and Hellebuck. Those are the only 3 that could, you know, those are the best 3 goalies in the league this year, and I don't think
Yeah.
anyone else is particularly close.
No, maybe Swayman. Swayman was really good this year for Boston.
Yeah, but it was
Him
almost a
and
step
Omar, but they
back.
split
Yeah,
it. Yeah, but they split it.
yeah, that's
I
the
think they
thing.
split too much for each of them.
Yeah, it's like a 50-50 split damn near because they're both really good, and it's like if
Yeah.
you, I mean, I think a lot of the time with the number 1 goalie taking time off is either A, there's a big drop off between number 2, or B, number 1 isn't playing at his best when he sits. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I think it's kind of a little bit of both, more of the first one, a little bit of the second one kind of deal. But like they are a great tandem. Like I think it was like who was it Sorokin and Varlamov, the Islanders a couple years
Yeah.
ago? Yeah, same thing. Like they just played really well together. Same kind of deal. But I wish they'd start these hockey games a little earlier because like I'm not trying to catch a Kings Oilers 9:30 puck drop. But we
Yeah.
should because that game was firecrackers.
Yeah, I saw the score. I didn't catch any of it. But same thing
I
with
had
like
it
the
on for a little
Vancouver
bit.
and Nashville. So
Mm-hmm.
like
Well,
that game was
that
a
one's
9:30 start.
a snoozer. But I like that over tonight. I don't know. I every under looked right, and it's like it can't be that easy.
Yeah, it
But
was
3 of the 4 games went over. I bet the one game that stayed under. So it's like maybe you do see some unders tonight. I don't know though.
also
Just
how odd was it? Every home team, every favorite won in the first game of the NHL and the NBA.
great products,
See
boys.
that? My buddy texted me that and I had to give him shit because I said, well, the NBA checks out because that's just a
Dog
garbage
shit
league.
league.
But
Yeah, I
I
haven't.
can't
I
believe the
bet
NHL did that.
I did the OTB only the Bulls under. Bet that under. That's the only NBA I've bet so far. Yeah, don't really have an interest. Like I like to find like a public dog and play the favorite and play them on an alt spread. That's what I like to do. So I'm just waiting for the. Like, I think last year, the Nuggets were the Lakers were playing the Warriors, and I think it was like one of the games the Warriors were like -6 or -7. I played them like -13, and they won by 30. So like I like those goofy spots. I'm so bad anyways. Might as well play a plus sign. What's the
Right.
difference? Like at the end of the NBA season, I'd be like, I'll play the Pistons in the money line instead. Like plus 500. It's like, what if they win? You know what I mean?
They catch a cheap one. Yeah. It
Yeah.
was cool to see it's been cool to see Madison Square Garden rocking though. Like
Oh,
when's the last
no,
place you saw
Ben
that place
Still,
going nuts?
dude, like a long time ago.
I know.
I mean, the Knicks haven't been good in a long time. Yeah, Ben
No, they
Stiller
haven't.
talking shit. Dude, that last night, that was a travesty, though. Like, there is no reason they should have won. That was bullshit. Did you see
It
Nick
was
Nurse
crazy.
calling timeout? Like,
Yeah, he's
what are you
sprinting up
guys
the
looking
sideline.
at? Yeah, it's like, and then I don't know who dropped the ball, or that's not a fair way of saying that. Who got mugged? Guy Jalen Brunson should be in jail. I think it was at Tyrese
It was Tyrese
Maxey.
Maxey.
Yeah, dude. Oh, that was bad officiating in a league where the officiating's already like atrociously bad
Already.
because they call everything, and then like you actually have a foul and you don't call it. That was nuts, but
It is cool though. It's cool to see that place turn it on its head.
Yeah, I like when the traditional teams in the NBA are really good because like the Knicks were really good in the 90s and just Jordan ended them every year, and it's like they haven't been really good since.
No,
And then
not since like the Melo prime years, like 2010-ish. They were good in that range when they had like Amari Stoudemire and J.R. Smith and Carmelo Anthony. Yeah, and the Linsanity. Yeah, that was like the 2010 to 2013. They were good, but they weren't amazing. They were a playoff team, but they haven't been anywhere close to that since then.
No, and it seems like this cast of players they have like really shouldn't be that good either. You know what I mean? It's Tibbs. And I think the guys are young enough where they can play that hard style of relatively hard defense. That's what Tibbs does. That's typically the problem. I mean, I'm a Bulls fan. I've watched Tibbs for quite some time. That's what they do. They'd be really good in the regular season, and then when the playoffs come around, they're just gassed. And I think these guys are like young enough to take that beating. I mean, are they going to get past the Celtics? No, probably not. They might not even get past the Cavs. But it was just super funny because I had the multi-view on with the NBA and the NHL games on, and it's like the two hockey games were super competitive, and then the NBA games were like not so much that Knicks game, but that was just a joke at the end of the game. Like that game was actually pretty good the entire time, but like that Cavs game was like they were down 20. They lost by 10, but like that wasn't a 10-point game most of the game.
Yeah.
And then I didn't watch the Lakers last night. I saw they had a tragic loss too, but yeah, just the NBA doesn't do it for me. I bet on it just because I'm obligated to at this point, but like I bet on it and I don't watch it.
No, I don't either. I dabble like every once in a while if somebody has a real strong lean on a game, I'll tail it, but I don't do the work on it. Like if somebody's like, "Hey, I really like this NBA play," I'll be like, "Okay, I'll entertain it."
Yeah, and I bet just as much last year as I did this year, and I was significantly better this year. Like I was only down like 18 units this year instead of like 40 last year. Whew, really bad last year.
I don't think we've ever talked about NBA on this. Outside of I suck at betting the NBA.
Yeah, that's true. I mean the playoffs, like they make the product entertaining, even though it's I don't like watching pro basketball, but I still watch way more basketball than most pro basketball fans do. I just watch college. Yeah. Oh, how do you watch college? Because it's like basketball. That's what basketball is.
It's just a better product. It's a much better product. The players aren't as good, but it's a
much better game. Like the talent is so different. Like I don't like when people are like, "Oh, those guys aren't that good." It's insane how much better a pro basketball player
Dude,
is.
It is nuts. I get that. Like if you're really into like that piece of it, I get it, but I'm not. I personally would rather watch like team basketball instead of watch LeBron James drop 50 and be a wizard.
See, it's not even like I'd rather watch team basketball. I like the yucky part of it. There's not even a ton of parity either. I mean, there's parity between like Power 5 schools for the most part, but typically the parity's like, some team loses a bye game in November, or they have a letdown spot on the road in January. Or
I mean more like how often in the NBA do you see guys like brick wide open threes? Like never.
Never. Yeah.
The best shooter on any team in college can miss a wide open three.
Yeah, and hit nothing.
Yeah, like literally.
And then if you were to take that shot in their place, you might hit a better shot. You might make it instead. Yeah, no. I just like how everything comes. You get everything. Like you'll have a game that ends 38-37. You still have those. It's crazy. It's beautiful in its own gross, disgusting way.
Get a North Texas versus Charlotte game in January, and it's 48-47.
Yeah, exactly. And if the NBA would
Awesome.
just keep the scoring under control a little bit, like if they would
Yeah.
trim the scoring by like 10, 20%, I think it would be a more entertaining product. Like it is off the rails how like unwatchable it is. You can't play. I don't know why they even bother playing defense. They should just have like the dummies out there, like
That's pretty much what they do.
run a
Outside
shell
of a
drill.
couple
Yeah.
guys that get down and dirty in the paint, but for the
But
most part,
they're
it's
so underappreciated and like it
yeah,
doesn't matter. It's like I get it, like guys can shoot 30 feet away, but like the only incentive is to score. Like there's just no grit to like the best team defensively in the NBA allows like 25 more points than they did 20 years ago. And like it's a nuanced issue for sure. Like offensively, guys are way better than they were
yeah,
25 years ago. But like the points of emphasis aren't to penalize offense. It's the same thing in football. Like it's impossible to play defense in football. Guys find a way to. It's a different game, but like
yeah,
basketball, it just seems like they don't give a shit about defense whatsoever. And I'm not like, oh, you have to play defense for me to watch it, but it's like almost unwatchable. Like half the game is free throws. I feel like everything's a foul. Like it's crazy, except
yeah.
last night. Your
I
guy's in the box. Your guy's in the box.
who is
Probably,
Rempy?
yeah, he probably killed someone.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me at all. They punched in a short-handed one early on. They that team
Did they?
on any special teams is. I mean, you say power play merchant for some of those guys. Like Zibanejad is always a power play merchant kind
I
of guy.
love him though. He's just got the hair. The hair just exudes effort because it's always just all over the place. You just see him flying
He's
around.
awesome.
Like, he's a
He's like the
crazy
new
man.
wave of when we had Matt Zuccarello. He's like the new wave of that.
He's still in the Wild.
Yeah, he's still there. I miss him.
I feel bad for him. The Wild are so mid.
Marc-Andre Fleury is there. Dude, what is wrong with Philip Gustafson? He was terrible this year. I know he's young. Like I think he's gonna get better. I don't know. I thought he was gonna be really good this year. I actually thought the Wild were gonna, and I know they had some injuries. Like they're, I can't remember who it was, but
out for
yeah, Kaprizov missed like the entire year.
I think the Caps just scored. Yeah, they did. Wait. Yeah, they did. It's 2-2. Sorry, distracted.
Is it really 2-2? Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm not watching it right now. I've got something else on, but I'm gonna tune in as soon as we hop off of this because got to. I'm sure my dad's blowing up my phone bitching about it.
Yeah, Panthers up 2-0. Panthers up 2-0. I repeat, Panthers up 2-0.
Did you see the Aaron Boone ejection? Not that would have been 2 days ago now, or was that yesterday? Was that yesterday or 2 days ago?
No, I think it was yesterday because it was in the day game.
Yeah.
I didn't actually see it happen, but like that was weird.
If you caught any of the videos on Twitter, so funny. He just comes out.
He's just I didn't say anything.
And the way the umpire defended it after the game, if you watch the video, it's so clear that his reaction is to the guy like just to the right of Boone in the stands. After the game, I can't remember who the umpire was, but he came out and basically the way that he explained it was he heard a voice from not that side of the dugout, but the other side of the dugout. And since Boone is the manager, by association, he gets ejected for it because he had just gotten a warning. And so he claimed, like, he doubled down on it, saying that it was 100% a player on the other end of the dugout.
Okay.
And not the fan.
The explanation makes sense because, like, I mean, the umpire's not really wrong. Like, if you think it's in the dugout, like, from a player, the players are kind of a reflection of you, but, like, dude, you're playing the A's at 11 o'clock. Who gives a fuck? But his ejections are always hysterical.
He gets his money's worth. He is awesome when he gets ejected.
You know, people don't like him, but I think I like him. I think he's a funny guy.
Yeah,
and I respect the work he did last year, even if they were underachieving. I think we've talked about it on here, but I respect his work a lot. Like that team should have had 70 wins in a playoff hunt. Like I'm not a Boone slander guy. Like their fans
No, I'm
can.
not
Like
either.
they know they know the team better. That's fine. Like he might
Yeah.
do boneheaded stuff, but like he had a AAA team win 80 games. Like that's pretty good. Like
However,
Jake.
did you see that they all booed Aaron Judge the other day? I think that's the stupid. He was the only reason that team won above 70 games last year. He was all they had last year. And he's, for lack of a
Mhm.
better comparison, he's like the new Jeter of New York. Like he'll probably be a lifetime Yankee.
Yeah,
And to boo him, like that's, and I get it. It's New York.
he's
That's
been
what
really.
happens.
Yeah, that's true.
And he's
He's
been
been really
bad.
bad.
But the
Yeah,
team
but
has been good. Like the record, if it would be one thing if they were like Astros shoes and they're 6-15 and
yeah,
like the
your
wheels are coming off,
captain is like shit. Yeah.
but they have a winning record. They're at the top of the division right now. Soto,
Look,
like they're playing fine. Like guys are picking him up
look at
and they're booing
Giancarlo
him.
Stanton. Look at Stanton. He's actually
He's actually
playing
hitting.
baseball and
Have you
well.
seen him trying to
Yeah.
run though? He still doesn't run. He like walks around the bases. It's hilarious.
Dude, when you're done with your thought, I got a story for you, and it is funny.
That's it. I just Yankees fans grow up a little bit.
Do you
It's
remember when
that's your
they?
guy.
Do you remember when they were playing the Astros last year? And it was like a weekend series, like July, August. I think I bet on the Yankees. It ended up hitting the bet, but I think that was like the week or two where Stanton was actually playing. The guy hit a double. Guy behind him hit a double. He was on second base. I think there was like a pass ball or something. He was on second, and he couldn't like quite go right away because like it was like a single or it was like a single double, but like he kind of had to freeze because like what if he caught it? He ran. He tried to score. Bad jump. He was out by 45 feet. He just stopped running. He's like, well, fuck. He didn't try to go back. He didn't try to make a play. He just like stopped running. You could
Did
probably find
you
that one out there, but like
did you see the
I'll
one
never
the other
forget
day?
that.
It was
Mm-mm.
like the same thing. It was like he was on second and there was a ball in the gap and he was I don't want to say motoring or even like trudging, but he was just like going from second to home. And the ball got to the catcher and he was still probably 40 feet from the plate.
Yeah.
And he was safe because the catcher just dropped the ball. Like he had so much time and it was so funny because in no world should that play have been made. Like the ball was pretty significantly in the gap
Mhm.
and they just like leisurely throw it in. And Stanton's just like moseying on around third, and somehow he's safe at home. And everybody's like, "What the fuck
When did
is
he
he
get
doing?"
when did he get so slow?
I don't think he
He
cares
was
about running
never
it. I just no. He
yeah,
used to be
that
like,
could be it.
I think
Not
it's that.
fast, but like decent and like
Well,
he
he used
could
to play the
move.
field. He was like a decent right fielder. It's like good
Yeah,
enough.
yeah, I think you're right though. I just don't think he cares.
Not once he gets on. If it doesn't go over the fence, he's like, ah, I
Whatever.
gotta go around the bases. Yeah,
Someone will hit. We're the Bronx Bombers. Someone will hit me in. I can
right.
take my
It's
time.
wild. I just can't believe that like he gets away with doing it too. Like nobody says a word about it. Everybody just like makes fun of him for it and moves on.
Yeah,
Nobody
but I
takes
think
issue with
like
it.
it. Yeah, but I think like at this point, I think they're more grateful he's actually playing than
That's
you know
true. Yeah, he's
being
hitting above his
injured.
body weight and,
Well,
and
hey,
isn't
you could make
injured.
a Hall of Fame career hitting above his body weight. He's a big boy. He's not fat. He's just yoked. He's got to be like
He
what
is a tank.
6'5", 250. He's a big
Yeah, he's a
dude.
monster.
And he's getting a little older too. He's been around a while. It's almost
He
like
has
10
been.
years for him. Yeah. I
Yeah, I
mean,
mean he was in Miami like when Yelich was in Miami. Like he was established in Miami when Yelich came up. So
yeah, he was Michael Stanton at the time.
is that
He's
true?
still yeah, he went by his middle name.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was Mike Stanton for a long time. Then he changed it to Giancarlo because that's
That's
like
wild.
that's his
I
actual
didn't know
name. Yeah.
that.
hmm Google it. I swear.
The more you know, the more you know.
The more you know.
You know who's I almost regretted it. I bet the Phillies yesterday, and the Phillies. I've texted. Any
Yeah,
team that I've probably rage texted you about,
Phillies.
it's probably the Phillies. And you
Yeah.
keep. It's really funny because you always follow it up with, "Well, what do you always say to me about the Phillies?" And I go that they always suck until June. You go, "So why do you keep betting them?" But I do, and they finally won one yesterday, so that made me feel good. Unfortunately,
hmm
I canceled it out with the Diamondbacks, but
Yeah, shit
They're no
waiver.
longer blacklisted, but
Just wait.
although it's I think it's more so backing Ranger Suarez because he is a menace right now. That guy
Yeah.
is like unhittable as a 4 in their rotation.
Yeah, I don't get it. He's ass. I don't care what his numbers
But
say. That
he's
guy's ass. That guy's
but he's
ass.
not because he does it every single year for them. He did it
Well,
last year too.
Lance Lynn's not ass, so you keep fading him. That's your problem. Oh, I didn't like
Hey,
the D-backs yesterday. I hate Lance Lynn.
no, it actually was not a Lance Lynn fade, but they were winning when both of the starters came out. So I got him on that one.
Yeah, he wasn't horrible though. He
No, he
managed.
wasn't, but he wasn't any worse than Fott. They're the same.
Yeah, that guy's actually been not bad since the postseason. That start
Yeah,
against
I
the
figured he'd be
Brewers like gave
better.
him some confidence. Yeah.
Yeah, he was bad in the regular season last year, but he's starting to put it together. He's still young. I like him. I think he'll be good eventually.
Yeah. Is it just me or there are a lot of mid teams in baseball right now?
There's a lot of mid teams in baseball right now. It seems everybody is like, even like, I know the Dodgers don't have the best record in baseball, but they are underperforming for what they should. I think that's a good way to put that.
Yeah, you'd think they'd have like 15, 20 wins by now.
Yeah.
Or like in between. They're probably not 20, but like who's got the most right now? The Yankees? The
I think
Yankees
the
are the best
Yankees still,
record in
yeah.
baseball. Yeah, you'd think they'd be at like 15, 16 at this point in the season, but
Yeah.
especially that they had a head start too. But yeah, their pitching isn't. Well, it's kind of been both. Like
It's the bullpen for
the
the most
bullpen will
part.
be bad, and then it's like some days the bats don't show up. I don't know what it is with the Dodgers, but they suck against the Nats. Why can they not beat the Nationals? No
I don't
one
know.
else has a
Patrick Corbin
problem.
owns them, which is infuriating to watch because Patrick
that
Corbin is ass.
that guy doesn't even like own him. Like he doesn't own anything he has. Like probably like I don't know. I don't get it. I love betting on him like in those yucky spots, but like he stinks. And he shouldn't either. Like his stuff could be really freaking good.
But he carves up the Dodgers. He loves doing that.
My
I don't know.
Cubs.
Yeah, it's odd.
Oh
There's a lot of teams that are like 9-12.
yeah,
There's a lot of like basically 500 teams. Like it seems like everybody outside of the really bad teams, like the Marlins, Rockies,
White Sox.
White Sox,
Yeah,
and everybody who isn't like
the
Yankees,
Yankees.
Dodgers, and
There's one more really good team, right? The Mets. Mets turned it on.
they did. They've been the best team in baseball over like the last 10 or 12 games. But yeah, outside of like those couple of teams, everybody is like 500. Like the AL West right now is like the epitome of mid. Like everybody in the division is 500.
Yeah, same
the Astros.
And the same thing with the Guardians. The other way.
Yeah, okay, yeah, the Guardians.
In the
Yeah,
AL
yeah.
Central, the Guardians are really playing well too. But
yeah, it's like Royals, Tigers are both like solid
to mid. I did Tigers. We said we like the Tigers long term. They're gonna suck soon.
I think so too. The offense has been really bad, which is surprising because I didn't think that would be the part of the game that they would struggle with.
No, well,
the Royals have been impressive.
They strike out a lot, which I mean, they give you the slug too, but they're gonna get to a point where those home runs go away, and like Tarek Skubal can't be much better.
No, he's a freak.
Yeah, I mean,
he's been awesome.
Right now he's pitching like. I mean, I saw some stat on Twitter today. He's like the 10th pitcher in like the last handful of years to like have a stretch of like 75 strikeouts, like less than 10 runs allowed. Like, remember Jake Arrieta in 2016? He was the best pitcher of all time for 3 months. Or 2015.
And then he was hardly a major league pitcher after that.
Well, he was good the next year, but then like the year after they won the World Series, he was good until about May, I think, and then he went back to himself.
And then how crazy was that? You got to wonder like it's almost like the Ubaldo Jimenez year in Colorado when he threw up 18 wins before the All-Star break.
Dude, it's all up here.
It's nuts.
I don't know what it's all mental. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's not like
It's
his
not.
stuff
It's
got like infinitely worse. I mean, like, yeah, like your stuff is going to deteriorate as you get older, but it's not like his stuff was as
mm-hmm.
bad as what he pitched to when he started to fall off.
No, but like Jake Arrieta was statistically the worst starting pitcher of all time until he left the Orioles and came to the Cubs. Like he was pitching on like the opposite side of the mound. Like I think he was a first base side guy, and then like maybe like a little mechanical change starts it all, but like you being mechanically sound does not let you give up 2 runs in a summer. He
No.
gave up like 2 runs in a summer the year he won the Cy Young.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
That's all up here. That's all mental. I don't know. I couldn't do it. I don't know how. I don't know how you're
Wild.
that confident in anything. Yeah, I don't know. Speaking of the Cubs, did you see my boys DFA'd Garrett Cooper?
No, I did not see that.
Yeah, what the hell's that about?
Well, they just brought up Matt Mervis
Yeah, fuck Matt
yesterday.
Mervis. We love
You don't like
Coop.
you don't like Matt
No,
Mervis?
no, Matt Mervis is cool, but so's Coop. Get rid of Patrick Wisdom. Get rid of Patrick
Does he even
Wisdom.
play? I feel like
No,
I don't even see him in the lineup.
I think he's still injured.
I was gonna say, I was like, I don't recall seeing him on
He's been on the IL for like the entire start of the season. You can't get rid of Jan Gomes either. That's MC Jan. He's a locker room guy.
Yeah, it's like when they had David Ross when he was playing.
Yeah, and well, last year was a surprise. Like Jan Gomes hit like 270, which is insane.
Yeah, which he will not do this year.
No, I don't think Jan Gomes ever hit 270, and like he was like awesome last year. And like I was like, he could hit 70. I don't care. Like he earned it. Like he's the veteran of the team.
Guy.
Yeah, he's not going. He better not go anywhere. I'll call Craig right fucking now.
It's my favorite non-existing stat. Vibes above replacement. It's Jan Gomes.
Absolutely, dude. Like he shows all the young guys how to do it. He really does. Yeah, I don't know. Cubs pitching's been a little.
Shota's been weak. Wild though.
That guy's awesome.
He's crazy.
They need another starter.
Yeah, they do. Kyle Hendricks ain't cutting it anymore.
I don't think that Wicks guy is. I don't think that Wicks guy's cutting it either.
You got Wisniewski hanging out. Is he up now?
Yeah, he's been out of the pen. He pitched. I had them on the other day. I don't remember who they were playing. What was the series they played before the weekend? They played the Marlins all weekend. Whoever they played in the midweek, I had them on for a little bit, and I think he pitched like 2 or 3 in relief, which is kind of like that's a good point. I feel like him and Hendricks could switch.
Yeah, he's his time is coming.
Yeah, it's been here. He was really bad last year, but like they keep winning his starts, which is really weird.
They did that last year too. They won a lot of his starts last year. It was like a nasty kind of back. It was like kind of a yucky spot that you would back him in, and they'd like win 6-4.
Over the middle of the summer, it got to the point where it was just take him every other start. He was so hit good, then bad, good, then bad, good, then bad. Now it's just bad. Yeah. Like I think he's given up 5 in every start he's had this year.
Yeah, his time is here.
I swept that doubleheader on Saturday, but Marlins game 1, Cubs 1.5 game 2. That was really cool.
Wow, that's actually surprising. It's crazy because I feel like we talked about this too on one of the first doubleheaders of the year, because you said you like to take the opposite team in game 2. Like if you bet on it, if you do bet on a doubleheader, like and you hit the game 1 with one team, you usually bet the other team in game 2. I always see it the other way. Like,
no, let me explain it. So if I bet the road team game 1 and it hits, I'll bet game 2. I typically won't bet the home team game 1. If I do bet the home team game 1 and they lose, I'd run it back. If I bet, you know what I mean? Like if I bet the road team and they lose game 1, I'm off. I like the home team in game 2. Just because I don't know where that stat is, but I think like over the last few seasons, the home team has like, if they lose game 1, they've split the doubleheader like 60% of the time or something. I could be making that number up. It makes sense, but
It does
like
make sense. Yeah.
I've done it like right every time, except
Yeah.
the Mets when they played the Tigers in that doubleheader. I bet the Mets run line game 1 or game 2, not money line.
Yeah.
And it was stupid. Like it was minus 130. It's like I could have did that, but I bet on run line, and they were losing like the entire game. They won 2-1, so it's like money line game 2. But the Cubs were like minus 200, so I had to do it there. But they covered, so it was okay.
Yeah. You know who I'm getting an eerie feeling that we jinxed is David Bednar. We were gassing him up all preseason.
Not last night.
He is, and he's been. Was he good last night? I didn't catch any of that.
I think he gave up a single or walked a guy. I don't remember, but there was one runner, but he shut the door after that.
That's good. That's good to see because he was rocking like a 12 ERA through.
Yeah, I know,
games.
a rough
Like
start. Yeah, I love Bednar. He's sick. I don't want him on that team anymore.
They're kind of fun this year though.
I think they might. They won't be like Pirates bad. Like I think
No, they won't.
they'll probably be in it until August, I'd say, instead of June, like normal. I think they can.
Pitching is good, dude. Jared Jones is a stud. Paul
Yeah,
Skeens will be up by
he
the All-Star
last
break.
night. Last night it was Jared Jones. Yeah, I had no idea who that guy was.
He's
I'm not
sick.
gonna lie.
He's a rookie this year.
Yeah. Well, I don't
Paul
watch
Skeens will be
baseball.
up by the. Well, Paul Skeens is like generational talent. He's basically like the Pat Mahomes of baseball right now.
Well, I know who Paul Skeens is, but
well,
like all the other. Well, it's not like I know no one. It's just like
Okay.
99% of them I won't know. Like he's hard to miss.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. But like he should be up by the All-Star break, and then they have Jared Jones and Quinn Priester, who's kind of been up and down over the last 2 years.
Yeah, he struggled a little bit last year, but I know I bet on him a few times, and like
he's got good stuff.
Results.
Like eventually he'll put it together. But that team, like next year is the Pirates. The year of the Pirates.
Wait. How do you change your name? Can you change your name mid-show?
I don't know. It's really probably. If you hit the 3 little dots next to your name on the bottom.
Oh, on the bottom? I don't see 3. Is it in the top right corner?
Why would you change it to?
Oh, I got to figure it out quick because we can't derail this. Ah, no. Damn, I was going to change it to Jack Sawinski.
Is his
he stinks, dude.
Coming?
It needs to.
How's that?
He can't hit. Oh, hell, you can do it. Let's go. Yeah, good man. We're not related, but that would be so cool if we were. I bet she's going to hit a home run tonight.
He's been really bad. I've got
He's been really
bad. Fantasy league.
He's been really bad his entire career. Like he can't hit.
You keep saying that. He was good. He hit like 280 last year with 20-some home with 25.
That is not true.
It is. It is 100%.
No, he hit the home runs. He did not hit 280. He hit like 218.
I think you're wrong.
I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think I am.
Then last year was year 2 for him, though.
Yeah.
So he
played in like September, like his rookie year.
You're right. He hit 225.
Yeah, no, he hit the pop. That's why he's still up there. I think he like led the team in home runs last year. Maybe like
probably
aside
26,
from Ryan Reynolds.
26 bombs, 75 RBI.
Yeah, he just can't hit big league hitting, but like he does everything else well. Like I think he plays center field or left field. Like they'll move him around the outfield. He plays good defense. He runs the bases. He gets on base. Like he kind of gets walked occasionally too, but on base plus slugging is 567. That is not true. What are his stats for this year?
It's bad.
No, I said 2024 season. His OBP is 298. Like OBP wise, that's bad. But he was like 339 last year. I mean, what would you say league average is? Like 350? 350, 360?
Probably close. It's probably under 360. It's probably closer to 350.
Okay, so last year was 339, which is below average, but 298 is pretty poor. He struck out. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I was looking at that backwards.
320 was average last year.
Okay, so right now he's at 272, which is bad. He's
Yeah,
batting
bad.
183. It's still April, so it's a slow start.
It is, yeah.
But
20 games in.
yeah, but he struck out 14 times in 71 at bats, which is what 20%,
Yeah, which actually
a little
isn't
more.
horrendous by MLB standards, to be honest.
Not
I think 20%
anymore.
is like I think 20% is like the benchmark. Like if a guy is under 20%, he's got a good percentage. If he's over 20%, that's when you start getting concerned. But if you're in like the 19 to 22 range, you're fine. It's like league
Yeah,
average.
but what is 172 divided by 447?
I have no idea.
That's like 35, 40%. All right. This is some Jack Sawinski math
Slander.
right here.
We're just slandering him now.
He struck out 38.6% of the time last year.
That's bad. That's really bad.
That's awful.
Honestly, that had to have been close to the top of the league, to be honest with you.
172? Yeah, 100%.
He probably didn't qualify. Actually, he probably did qualify.
No, he had 450 at bats.
Yeah.
So he was definitely a qualifier. He was definitely top 10.
Yeah.
Well, Mariners might have 7 of the top 10, which isn't really fair. But anyways, he's striking out like 20% of the time. So that's a drastic improvement. But yeah, he's not playing great right now.
No. Unfortunately. I don't know. You got anything else? That's all.
No, I thought we did a pretty good job of like covering everything instead of just talking about. No, and we didn't really talk about the betting that much either, which was kind of a change of pace.
That was efficient.
Yeah, I like the betting more, but like shooting the shit's good too.
Yeah, we'll find a good mid ground.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was better, I feel like.
Well, that's our show, folks. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Overdue Sports. Check out our website, overduesports.com. Like and subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. I know it doesn't do anything for you, but it helps us out. So smash that thing, do all the cool stuff. Hit the little bell if you want to. But we throw everything on Twitter. And we're out of here.